Okay, so this is the first part of the video review I'm going to be doing for the DBoys 416. I'm going to be comparing it here with a Hurricane 416. Okay, where to start? Obviously the Hurricane has the crane stop, which is quite useful for taking the batteries in. Major differences is the DBoys actually has the HK marking on the back of it. As far as stock wobble goes, I know a lot of people get quite funny about that. It's present, but it's very, very minimal, ever so slight. Probably about 1 or 2 millimeters worth of movement in there. General build quality of the stock's not too bad. It's pretty good. Definitely not disappointed with it. As for the hand grip. The hand grip is actually pretty damn comfortable. Fits in the hand very nicely. It's quite smooth and rounded around the front. One of my complaints I had with the Hurricane is on top of it weighing 4 kilograms, the handle is quite square and it tends to dig into my hands across the top here. If I was to hold it one-handed, it would get uncomfortable quite quickly, but I don't have that problem with the DBoys. It's very smooth, it's very comfortable. So that's got bonus points. The iron sights, I have to say, I was a bit disappointed with on the DBoys 416. Although even if you read the manual, it claims that it has 4 holes with 4 different sizes for different ranges. But as far as I can tell from looking at it, all the holes they're actually the same size. So you've got the grooved number 1. I don't know if you can see that, and then the others at the holes, but pretty sure that they're all the same. And in fact, yeah, the machining quality is not too great. So one of the holes doesn't actually have a hole in it. The metal hasn't been punched out properly. I'm sure if I just get a pin or something, I can push it the rest of the way through. So you can see there's a slight color difference between from the stock, the hand grip and the Riz. The upper and lower receiver and the iron sights are a shade of grey. I'm not sure why they've chosen to do that, since the actual 416 is black all over, and they've done the correct colouring on the rest of it. But the upper and lower receiver and the iron sights are a bit of a light grey, which is it's a bit of a pain. As you can see, the Hurricane one looks a lot nicer that way. What else? The selector switch is actually one of the things I'm quite happy about. That on my Hurricane, it's very light and wobbly. It clicks very lightly in between, and it's quite easy to knock it out of place. But it's not bad. It's just a bit too loose sometimes. On this, it's quite there's a bit of resistance to it. It's nice and sort of stiff. You actually have to push it a bit to get it to click into place, and I don't know if you can hear the clicking, but it's quite loud and clear. That's good, so I was quite happy with that. The PEC unit, it's very cheap and flimsy. I'm thinking if that gets 1 or 2 bumps, it's probably going to break off the rail mount it has on the underside. There's a pretty decent amount of space in there. I mean, could easily fit an 8.4 mini in there. I don't actually use any nickel metal batteries myself. Let's find one that's the right size. There we go. This is a 7.4 LiPo, but it's about the same size as the as an 8.4 mini, and that quite easily fits in there, with space for even more. So you could probably fit something. In fact, there's almost space for 2 in there by the looks of it. The battery which came with it. It's a very small nickel metal 1100 8.4. It's probably never even going to get used. To be surprised if I even managed to sell that. Alright, what else do we have? As for the Riz on the front of it, the Riz is actually very, very good. It's very well machined. It's very high quality. I'm quite impressed with that. It doesn't weigh as much as a van, unlike the Hurricane, which is just phenomenally heavy. It also comes with a front foregrip, which is a very nice touch. It's very light and thin. It's pretty good. What else? Yeah, the front iron sight has the same colour difference that the rear iron sight has. Let's see what else. Okay, as for the let me see if there's a way that I can prop this. And charging handle, same colour as the upper and lower receiver. On the back, you get the ejection port opens up, and you can see. This is, and then it just on. Fake bolt carrier, standard hop up inside, which everyone always says standard. The one that comes with is supposed to be a load of crap, but I don't really have too much experience with M4 hop ups, so I'm sure I'll change it at some point if I have any problems. The bolt release on the other side works quite well. And then, okay. So yeah, it's got the as for the mag catch, I tested the mags I tested in there are actual DBoys M4 HK marked magazines, mid caps and high caps, and I did have problems with them. Once I managed to get it to catch, they would stay in there, but actually getting them to click in place I found was a bit of a struggle. Even the curved HK magazine that came with it was a bit tricky. Also, Customs absolutely turned mine inside out. It seems that they'd slashed the box open, and I've got a suspicious feeling that they might have even had a play with it, considering the mag was loaded and wound, and there was a round in the chamber, and it was on auto when it arrived. Also, there's some scuff marks on the side of it. There's some scratching which seems to have appeared just above the mag catch here and here. I got a scratch here on the upper receiver. What else? There's small scuffs here and there. There's a few little ones around here. But the bit that got me the most is obviously I got it out of the box, and the first thing I wanted to do was chrono it, test a mag through it. But the inner barrel, right in the end in here, it seems that someone's put something up against it and banged it, or the barrel was dropped before it was even assembled in the gun. So it chronos about 200 to 280 at the moment, and the shots fly straight to the left, so I'm going to have to change the barrel and that. But okay, that's covering the basic externals, so I'm going to do a bit of a takedown in a minute. Cheers. One last thing I also forgot to mention is that unlike the Hurricane, where you get the attachment for your single point slings around here, the DBoys version doesn't actually have anything there at all. There's no sort of swivel sling mount, so you're going to have to fit something there if you want to use a single point, or you can just attach it to the swivel one here, if you don't mind hitting yourself in the nads constantly.